Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're jumping into a topic that honestly sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but I promise you, it is grounded in some absolutely fascinating real-world science, using light itself to manage chronic pain. But here's the big puzzle we're going to try and solve together. How on earth can light be both a trigger for horrible pain, like a migraine, and at the same time be a revolutionary treatment for other kinds of chronic pain? It just sounds like a total contradiction, right? So yeah, let's dive headfirst into this paradox, this idea that light can be both a healer and, well, a source of hurt. I mean, think about it. On one side, you've got people with conditions like chronic migraines, where any kind of bright light, what's called photophobia, can make their pain so much worse. But on the other side, there's this whole growing field of medicine using very specific kinds of light as a powerful way to bring relief. Okay, so let's start with the good news, the really promising side of the story, how certain types of light are actually being used as medicine. And the star of the show in a lot of these treatments is infrared radiation, or IR for short. Now, this is a wavelength of light that's just beyond what our eyes can physically see. You can't see it, but you can feel it as heat. And more importantly, your body can definitely react to it. And this image, well, it just lays out the whole process perfectly. It all starts with a source, right? Something like a special lamp or a heating pad. That light then kicks off these incredible biological effects deep down in your cells. We're talking reducing stress and boosting energy, which all leads to what the patient actually feels. Less pain, more relaxed muscles, and even actual tissue repair. Now get this. What's so cool here is this quote from the research. It basically says you can think of infrared therapy as a workout for your cells. Seriously, it stimulates them and helps them clean house and repair themselves, kind of like how exercise puts good stress on our muscles to make them stronger. And the results? They speak for themselves. I mean, look at this. For knee osteoarthritis, studies are showing a 50% drop in pain. For fibromyalgia, which is notoriously tough to treat, we're seeing a 41% decrease. Chronic low back pain, a 36% improvement. These are not small changes, folks. This is life-changing relief. Okay, so now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this whole paradox. How can the light that we can see sometimes cause so much pain? Well, studies show that for someone in the middle of a migraine, being exposed to white, blue, amber, and even red light can make their headaches significantly worse. So it's not just about brightness in general, it's that specific colors can literally feel like an attack. And this just brings us right back to that central mystery. The exact same kind of red light that can be used on the skin to heal nerve pain can make a migraine 1,000 times worse when it's seen by the eyes. How is that even possible? It's the same light. All right, so here's the secret. The answer isn't in the light itself, it's all about how our body processes it. Turns out we have two completely different pathways for seeing light, and they lead to totally different results. Let's break it down. When light hits our skin, that's the cutaneous route, it has a local effect right there on the cells, and it's all about healing. But when light enters our eyes, the visual route, it sends a direct signal straight to the brain, where it can mess with the parts that control our perception of pain. Okay, so pathway number one, the skin. Red and infrared light can actually get pretty deep into our tissues. Once it's there, it gets the little power plants in our cells, the mitochondria, all fired up. This starts a chain reaction that boosts energy, calms inflammation, and even activates our body's own natural painkillers. And then you've got pathway two, the eyes. Light hits the retina, and these special cells send signals straight to the pain control centers deep inside the brain, like the thalamus. This pathway can literally turn the volume dial for pain up or down. And during a migraine, for some colors, it cranks that volume way, way up. So there it is. That's the solution to the paradox. It's not the light, it's the road it takes. The effect it has depends entirely on whether it's being soaked up by your skin to heal you or seen by your eyes and processed by your brain to hurt you. So what does all this mean for the future? Now that we understand this, what's next for this incredible new frontier in pain management? Well, the stakes could not be higher. We're talking about 50 million adults in the US alone who are living with chronic pain. That is a huge number of people, and it creates this massive, urgent need for treatments that don't involve pills and medication. And this is exactly why phototherapy is so exciting. It's not a drug. It's completely non-invasive. The tech is becoming cheaper and more available, and guess what? There are very few side effects reported in studies. It's just a clean, targeted way to tackle pain. And this is where things get really, really cool. Now that scientists understand that visual pathway, they're starting to hack it. They found that one specific color, green, actually seems to have a pain-killing effect when it's seen by the eyes. Early studies are showing that daily exposure to a narrow band of green light can actually reduce how often people get migraines and how bad they are. Which just leaves us with this one last kind of mind-blowing thought. As we get better and better at controlling how our bodies respond to light, it's not really that far-fetched to ask, will your doctor one day hand you a prescription, not for a pill, but for a very specific color?